Greetings, programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews, where today we are going to be doing a somewhat rapid-fire review of 4 figures. As you saw in the thumbnail, obviously, we are looking at 4 Legends class figures, so this is not going to be super hard. They are difficulty easy, level 1, for ages 5 and up, Dark of the Moon, Cyberverse. There's so much nostalgia to me seeing this old box style. Got the Transformers Collectors Club down there on the bottom. Hasbro Australia. There's one you don't see a whole lot anymore. On the back, you've got pictures of all the figures. I do find it funny, like, for all the matchup between Bumblebee and Starscream they did in the movies, the fact that they let the humans kill Starscream and all that Bumblebee did was come in and save Sam, that has always struck me as kind of lame. But yeah, this is a fun little box because you get 2 classic, Legends figures, and then 2 of the Cyberverse, Legends figures. So does this have a... No, it doesn't give a specific size, class, or anything on here, but really, really cool box. I love it. Artwork in the back and everything. The artwork was even, done so that it kind of went up and around on the insert. This is awesome. Now, normally on this channel, we would start with Starscream. However, today, just to be different, we're going to start with Bumblebee. We're going to start with the Cybertronian Bumblebee, which is basically just the Classics Universe Legends Bumblebee again. But to be fair, this mold is actually one of my favorite tiny scale Bumblebee figures. The gold bug they made out of this mold is... I have an unreasonable amount of love for the gold bug of this. So I do like this one quite a bit. Pinned wheels, so he rolls really well. He's practically Hot Wheels size, which is always fun. Transformation, really simple. Come up here. Pull out the arms. Fold out the legs. Split the legs if they don't on their own while you're doing that. Fold that section down. Come back here. And fold this whole section all the way down and around. And even though it's not a tab or anything, they do use the screw hole cutout to sit over the top of this to just close everything up nicely. And there you go. There you have your Cybertronian mode Bumblebee. It's Classics Bumblebee, Universe Bumblebee, whatever. He's a great little mold. That's one of my favorite Bumblebee small-scale faces ever, is the little happy dude. His arms are basically just molded on the inside of the car doors, but it kind of works. You do get, pretty good range of rotation and some outward movement there, up at the shoulder. Ball joints in the hip, so he kicks forward really high, kicks back all the way, does the splits. Little bit of rotation there, as well as then you can use the foot joint. He's simple, he's small, but he good. He very good. Then the other figure, and these are the figures I'm a little worried about transforming. This is his, mid-scan transformation concept Camaro from the movie. And as you can see, this guy is almost entirely clear plastic. In particular, it's that clear plastic that is just purely clear. Usually, I don't know what it is, but usually if there's more color in the clear plastic, it does a little better. So, but the way this is made, I'm not too worried about anything crumbling. Yes, I did get this set new in box. But knowing how clear plastic is, clear plastic's almost like GPS. So the fact that, his little ball joints in there were not cracked in the box, he's probably a pretty safe bet. So Again, you got the pinned wheels. You've got that grid design going for his, his whole scan upgrade thing. Little Chevy logo there on the back and on the front. This one's actually painted. Like, the paint on this guy is phenomenal. There's no way around it. This looks great. Transformation, again, really, really simple. Come in here, fold out the arms and rotate them around. Fold up the whole front of, or fold down the whole front of the car. That will both give him his wings and the car chest. Then just kind of come back here, pull the legs down on their sliders, and split the legs. And there you've got your Bumblebee. Again, he's well painted. That is a tiny little tampograph right there on his head, yet it's perfectly done. Posability again on him is very, very simple. It's mostly the ball joints in the shoulders. You can kind of shift the arm down if you need to for whatever reason. Ball joint in the leg, kicks forward, kicks back some. Most of the splits, like technically more of the splits if you angle his leg differently. Sadly, no real knee joint there. A lot of times on these Legends figures, they'll actually use that slider to come up, lock in place, and then rotate. But no such thing on this guy. But I'm sure anyone who recognizes the mold is going, wait a minute. Because, yes, the thing with the reused, movie Legends molds is they gave them a new hand. Because this guy actually comes with a little blaster. That's neat. I know that this blaster is pulled from a different figure. It's not an original sculpt. But the fact that they gave it to him at all is pretty neat, actually, I think. So, again, he's small, he fragile, but he good. He good little bee. However, obviously, this being the channel it is, it's Starscream time. So, just like before, we're going to go ahead and start with the reused older mold. Here we have the Cybertron Legends class Starscream. And this is always a good mold to see. I love this design for Starscream. I own multiple versions of it. It's always fun. Little Tampo Decepticon insignias back there. Really nice paint job on him. You can see the kind of gold color they use there for his weapons. He's just pretty. Very, very whooshable little jet mode. I've always thought this one especially looks like it's this is supposed to be the thing shooting aliens in Galaga or something. So much love for this design. I'm pretty sure we have looked at a version of it before, but transformation, just kind of push the wing sections back a little bit. Use that to get room. You're going to want to rotate this little tab out from underneath the cockpit. Go ahead and just do a whole bunch of folding with the upper thigh and the leg, get everything in place. This foot in particular is pretty famous for falling off on me. So if you hear that snapping, that's actually it, like threatening to pop out and then popping back in. Same thing here. Let's give it all a rotate. Foot forward. Come up here. Fold the upper part of the jet back. It doesn't really have a locking position, but it will just kind of friction down in there a little bit and hold nice and tight. Fold out his arms, bring them down, and take this little wing section and just rotate it around like that. And there you've got Legends class Starscream. Again, I love this mold. This is not by any means the first version of this mold I've got. I've got Starscream. Let's see, I've got, oh boy, let's see, I've got the US Cybertron Starscream. There is a difference. I sold off the Japanese one to a friend because minor paint differences, and I know that for him having the Japanese one would be better. I've got a Skywarp, then I've got Sunstorm, and was it Thrust? Like one of the Coneheads they randomly released is this guy, and I know there's more than that even, but I've got like 4 or 5 now. Always a fun little figure. The ball joint in the shoulder lets you have some, back and forth, up and down, and everything. Full rotation. Arms have to be just straight unless you just break his arms and fold them backwards like that. He does have his little flip out weapons. Blaster on that side. Sword on that side. Fantastic sculpting on this mold. Just so good. Kicks forward. Kicks back all the way. Get the arm out of the way, and he can do not the full splits, but a decent try. Ball joint in the knee for full range there. Rotation. And mostly downward tilt at the ankle, but especially for his era, since this guy was like one of the original Cybertron Legends figures, this guy rocks the size class so well, in my opinion. I love this little idiot so much. But then, I can't believe I'm looking at this thing yet again. We are looking at the final Starscream variant of the movie 1 Legends design. Now, I can't fully remember. I think I had mentioned that there was one more version of this guy that was like Japan only, came with a magazine and crap, and he was like weird green colors. Upon learning more about that figure, that's not Starscream. That is literally a character from that magazine's comic who turned himself into Starscream. So it's just someone in a Starscream costume, effectively, a little shapeshifter guy. That means this is the final variant of this figure. I never have to get another one, so I now have 6 of the thing that I hate. I am truly a Transformers collector now. But he's got kind of a blend of the paint job that we saw on all the others, as well as then getting that grid over the top. He does at least have some parts that aren't just, clear plastic, but he does have, like the entirety of this section is clear plastic. This part's probably clear plastic and then just painted for, budget reasons. And then like the leg sections are clear, obviously. So, one last time. Go ahead, fold this down. Be very careful not to shatter that little tab there. There you can see, yeah, this is that truly clear plastic. There's like zero flex to it at all. I'm very, very careful with this guy. Bring down his weird little mummified hands, rotate the arms into place, and fold the tail wings down into his shoulders. And you know what? This is kind of pretty. I wish this was done with the actual Cyberverse mold of Starscream that they made. That one is much better. But given what they were doing here, it works. The colors are awesome. I love the way he looks. We've been over the posability on this guy, and just for sake of what he's made of, we are not going to do it again. But you will obviously notice his remolded hand here, which means he doesn't hold it in a reasonable way, but he also came with a blaster, and he can do a pew pew and a bang bang in the ways of Imgo. I mean, heck, you can make him try to be hard. There we go. If you could rotate his head, that would probably work a little better. But we're not ending by giving him a he's small, he good or anything. He's small, he aight. He not stand very well. Will here, you can do a jet fire and use your gun as a cane. Go ahead and bring the other guys in here. Yeah, this is definitely a set that you actually get for the reissued but best paint scheme versions of the old figures. But to be fair, the paint on these guys is also really awesome. Again, the clear plastic seems to have held up pretty dang good, because this was 2010. So these are 15-year-old figures. Like, if the plastic was going to start having some issues, it would have done it right in the box at that point. So I'm pretty sure they're okay. Just going to be kid gloving them. I'm going to be an absolute monster and send these bumblebees off to a buddy of mine, because I already have this guy that I got loose a very long time ago, and I love him, and I love the gold bug one even more. I've got that one already. So, gonna send off the bumblebees to the same guy who's getting the Core Q Shockwave from the last video. But all in all, if you have a chance at this little set for a decent price, you know what? It is a darn good little set. 3 of the 4 figures in here I completely recommend. Again, speaking in terms of classic legends, obviously, I know modern core class and the third-party legend stuff much more articulated. But for that hit of nostalgia for the idiots like me who were actually around and buying figures back in the Dark of the Moon age, this is good stuff. That Starscream in particular is lush. I love him. Again, great Bumblebee. Worried about the clearness on these guys, but you know what? Even for as much as I dislike this overall mold, this is the best looking version of it. Like, this one, if I can get him to stand somewhere safely, I will happily let stand around and be looked at. Hopefully my buddy likes this guy as much as I like this guy. Or, frankly, I hope he likes him more, but I will be a little mad if he doesn't like this guy more than that one. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.